What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Jay Rich here to talk some MLB prop plays over on PrizePicks for Tuesday, April the 18th. We have a loaded slate today. It is Dinger Tuesday, but we do have some plays on PrizePicks attacking some pretty awful pitchers, if I'm just being honest. And I wish we had some more lines to attack Blake Snell, but we don't. So let's dive into the ones that are available on PrizePicks right now.
He's got it! What a catch by Mookie Betts.
A lot of names that if you're not a Pirates fan,
All right, so off the bat, you can see here we are looking at Seiya Suzuki, Matt Chapman, Rodolfo Castro, and a couple of lines for Kris Bryant. Let's start at the top with Seiya Suzuki, who just came back and has been playing pretty well. I'm looking at his hits, runs, RBIs at 1.5, which is minus 135 at DraftKings Sportsbook, and he's been averaging 2.3 since joining the Cubs lineup. That lineup is hot. They are scoring a ton of runs. They did so in LA, and they are doing so again in Oakland. I talked early in the season, actually about a week ago, when Ken Waldichuk went off against the Tampa Bay Rays and got shredded. He did, however, pitch well against the Orioles, but with how hot the Cubs are, I believe that in the middle of that order, Suzuki should have plenty of opportunities to obviously score runs and get RBIs. So for me, I think this is a great spot for him. I love the matchup. As you can see, he profiles very well as a hitter by this FP number here, which is the pitch factor number that looks at all of the different pitches that the player throws. So you can't quite see it all there. I think it's a little bit cut off, but he profiles very well against fastballs here and sliders. So whether Waldichuk throws a fastball or a slider, Suzuki has been crushing both, and I believe can take advantage in this matchup today. Let's talk about Matt Chapman because he's probably my lowest priority play. The biggest concern for him outside of his form, which is phenomenal, is his previous history against Jose Urquidy. We'll see how they ultimately play. Yesterday, Kevin Gausman got absolutely shredded. Like, that game was over in the first inning. It was no chance for the Blue Jays. They couldn't come back. They lost 9-2. But Chapman did hit a home run in that game. And that's why I'm considering the hits, runs, RBIs of 1.5, minus 130 at DraftKings Sportsbook. As you can see, 2.2 over his last 7, 3.3 on the year. I think that the actual matchup with Urquidy is pretty good based off the pitches he throws, but the history isn't quite in Chapman's favor, and that's what gives me a little bit of pause, even though I think it's a pretty good play, and the sportsbooks tend to agree. Now let's head to our favorite ballpark, Coors Field, because Rodolfo Castro is up against Jose Urena, who, I mean, the Pirates scored 14 runs, and they may score more today with Urena on the mound. They had Kyle Freeland out of that game early. He allowed 9 runs. I don't expect much different from Urena, but maybe he can perform a little bit better than Freeland did last night. Over his hits, runs, RBIs at 1.5, which is minus 130. Been averaging 2.8 on the last 7 days, 1.8 for the last 14, 1.4 on the season. So he's right around there in terms of his averages, and in Coors Field obviously gets a massive bump. The Pirates should score a ton of runs on Urena, and Castro can definitely be in an advantageous spot to go over that number again tonight. And then last but not least, Kris Bryant, basically the only member of the Rockies that provided much offense. He hit a home run yesterday, which was great for him. But overall, whether you like his total bases or his hitter's fantasy score at 8.5, I don't know which one I prefer. I kind of like both. I do like him to homer today off Vince Velasquez. And as you can see, he's batting 506 at bats with 4 RBIs. So that would be a lot of hitter's fantasy score points for us. If he gets a double and a couple RBIs, boom, he's there. 8.5, is kind of a make or break number because you do have to get multiple things happening. A double and an RBI is 7 points, so you're still not there. Double run and an RBI, all of a sudden you're there. Now, obviously, Bryant yesterday doubled, hit a home run, got on base beyond that, so he did plenty. I believe he scored 26 fantasy points. We'll have to see a similar output today, but in a good matchup against a pretty hit or miss pitcher in Vince Velasquez, and with the history, I think that Brian can definitely take advantage. If I was, just kind of ranking these plays, I think Suzuki would be at the top. I think I would put Brian's total bases second, hitter's fantasy score third, Chapman would be last, and Castro would be fourth. So Suzuki, Brian, Castro, and then Chapman. I do like targeting Blake Snell today, but I have yet to see many lines for him. Sean Murphy, by far my favorite hitter, followed probably by Matt Olson, but all the Braves profile very well. Snell's been struggling, especially those right-handers are the guys you want. So Olson, a lefty, but still a great hitter overall. Austin Riley, Marcell Ozuna, name a guy on the Braves. Obviously, Ronald Acuna Jr., another right-hander that can take advantage of Snell because he hasn't been playing very well, and I think he could get hit around today in San Diego. But these are the plays I like, and as always, if you tailgate PrizePicks hell, and if we fail, do not bail. Make sure to drop us a like and subscribe for all future content. Good luck tonight, and I'll see you guys in the next video. I'm out. Peace.
He's got it. What a catch by Mookie Betts.
A lot of names that if you're not a Pirates fan, you probably don't
He's
know.
the closest thing we've seen to Mike Trout.
Yeah, the best team in the American League.
The Yankees have the most intimidating lineup in baseball.